Now, the Nedbank Cup continues this evening with a clash straight from the capital. Mamelodi Sundowns are up against University of Pretoria this evening at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. Newzroom Afrika's Vuyo Macoba is at the stadium and joins us live. Vuyo, good to speak to you this evening. Sundowns' relentless pursuit for trophies continues. Will that help them push through the fixture congestion?
Good evening to the Newzroom Afrika viewers tonight from the Lucas Moripe Stadium in Atteridgeville, ahead of the University of Pretoria, of course, against Mamelodi Sundowns game. And in relation to that question, Hugo, not a second-string side that Sundowns is going to put out tonight, making sure that they put out a strong one. I mean, I'm already sitting with the starting lineup here, featuring the likes of Lucas Ribeiro, Tapelo Moreno, of course, at the back. Themba Zwane is in, Marcelo Dialende, Neo Mayema, Tebogo Mokoena. It kind of shows you what Mokoena is the coach is trying to do in this game, that they're not going to take it very lightly, because they have a big mission, as you are mentioning in your question now, and their big mission now includes gaining a number of titles. That is 4 titles, a quadruple this season. They've already won the African Football League title earlier in the year, and what they are trying to do, of course, now with the Nedbank Cup is get through to the semi-final and get a little bit closer to winning getting closer to getting to the final of this competition, and of course bagging it as their second trophy. You also understand that Sundowns is also leading the DStv Premiership with 13 points. They are the leaders at this point and looking like the team that is going to retain the title this season. Another title, of course, that stands always in front of Mamelodi Sundowns is that CAF Champions League, with Mamelodi Sundowns now in the semi-finals of the continental competition, and they will face Esperance next week in a 2-legged tie in the semi-finals. So it's not just one of those games that Sundowns is going to go into now. With the starting lineup that I'm already seeing now, it kind of shows, the intent from Coach Rulani and the team and themselves to fill in this bigger mission of getting these 4 titles. And they're not going to get these 4 titles if they're going to start playing second-string teams. They need to put their strongest side. And as you know, in the previous season, Sundowns has been the team that has been able to shoulder all of these competitions at one point, with the big number of players that, of course, they have in the team. And when we spoke to Coach Rulani in this week, we kind of asked him also the question in the build-up to this game, if they're accepting this challenge of a quadruple, and this is what he had to say.
I'm already thinking about the next game, which is Tuks. And already started with the analysis on the flight. A 2-hour flight gives me an opportunity to at least to get one game through. And it is what it is, because the players expect information about the performance yesterday, tomorrow. They expect some information about the next opponent on Friday. It's a big game for us. We haven't been in this position in a very, very long time, where at this point in the season, we're still competing for 3 more trophies. And so we just have to make sure that as the leadership, we are on top of our game, and we show the energy and the desire that the players have to breed off from, and it starts with us. But yeah, needs must, and we just have to give more and more and more towards the end of the season.
Vuyo, before we went to the Masandawana coach, you talked about their performance in the DStv Premiership, and the writing is pretty clear. It's on the wall. They're 13 points up and likely to take the cup. But when it comes to the Nedbank Challenge Cup, it's never clear-cut. It's not about who's leading in the DStv Premiership. And we've talked about Masandawana and their performance, but let's talk about Tuks. Are they going to make this easy for Masandawana tonight?
Definitely not, Hugo. I mean, also speaking to Coach Lisane Mutawing in the build-up to this match during the week, it's one of those things that they are saying this could be a possibility for them to, as we know this competition, there's been a lot of upsets. We saw Milford FC already beating Kaizer Chiefs at the start of this campaign. Tuks being the last team that's standing from the lower division side that's still in the competition in this last 8. So everybody comes here, and there's a hope that, either Tuks, as they were called before, but University of Pretoria would have the opportunity to cause another upset here at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. Is that likely to happen? I can tell you now that the confidence is in the team with themselves, because even historically, there's some of the things that the Tuks have been looking at in the build-up to this competition. Now, let me take you back to 2009. 2009 was a season where University of Pretoria at this time, being coached by Coach Steve Barker, went all the way to the final of this competition. And of course, they were beaten by Macoba Swallows in the final. But in the build-up to them reaching the final, they had beaten a team like Kaizer Chiefs. They, ensured the scalp of Kaizer Chiefs. And that match that they played it here at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. So those are some of the motivations that TAC is taking going into this game tonight, to say, yes, this might be a field that Sundowns always uses as their secondary field, which also provides them as a home game for Sundowns. But historically, when we look back at the 2000 success, where we're able to beat a team like Kaizer Chiefs in the same period, we're going to look into that to try and pick up motivation. Tlisane Motaung took this team to the quarterfinals 2 seasons back of this campaign. And he's hoping, of course, he'll be able to do it again at this time around. Now, the other thing that lies within the University of Pretoria side is the fact that, in the league side, they are trying to gain promotion to top flight football. And in this competition, it has served them an opportunity to see how it's like to play against top flight teams. They beat Cape Town Spurs in the first round, and they beat Macoba Swallows in the second round to get into the quarterfinals. So they're getting that sense of what it's like to play against top flight teams in case they do get that top flight promotion into the PSL. So this is another game that's providing them that opportunity to say, if we play good against Sundowns, there's a lot of lessons that can come out of this, so that when we do get promotion into the top flight, this is the possibilities that we could face. I posed a question to him in the week, asking him just what's important between the Nedbank Cup and the league. Of course, he did mention that they're not playing that game of saying that the league is bigger than the Nedbank Cup. They are making sure that they are focusing on both the competitions, because this was a rally for them even at pre-season to say, let's look into these competitions. And one of the things that they did was University of Pretoria made sure that they get as equal as 35 players into the team to make sure that they're able to delve between the league and, of course, the Nedbank Cup. So there's a lot of motivation even going for University of Pretoria going to this match with this field in itself, and the fact that they're getting an idea of what it could be like in top flight football this season. Hugo?
Vuyo, I know you don't like to make predictions, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Number 1 on the DStv Premiership and number 2 in the NFD. Your call.
On paper, Sundowns could easily walk away with this match. And as I mentioned earlier, just the mission that they have of trying to get all these titles. I think tonight the bigger focus goes on, or the bigger match, the match in this one could go in the way of Mamelodi Sundowns. But I have to say that there is a possibility with this competition that an upset could be caused. And of course, with University of Pretoria, they're also getting lessons out of this game that they're going to be playing tonight. So football wins, TAC wins in a sense of lessons out of this. But in terms of the game, Sundowns look like the better side that will move into the semi-finals with this big mission.
Vuyo Macoba coming to us from the Lucas Moripe Stadium.